Yeah, I mean, a lot of the traditional publishers and traditional, I guess, journalists will, typically you write about what you want to write about or what you feel passionate about. And, the way we look at our content, we take tech and data and really align it with that creativity that our journalists have. So, we're writing about what our audience want us to write about. So it's like a fulfilling circle where you put out content, you look at how the audience reacts to it, and then off the back of that, we're looking at the data to understand, right, okay, that's what's engaging them. Let's get creative within this framework. So if it's about a certain topic, let's start getting creative within that because we know it's a passion point. So the content that we're looking at creating, we're building more of our original content, and it's focusing around making heroes out of our community. And that's, recently we've just launched a feature called Lad of the Week, and that's that's just looking at our community and getting their stories in.
So last year you hired Kit and Ira, and you guys are both 16. How are they doing? How are they working out? Let's give them a job.
No, I mean they've been brilliant. They've brought a different vibe as well. Like their youthfulness, they just can't not do anything in their minds, which is great because that they're not weighed down by any preconceived kind of cultures, and they're coming in fresh, loving what they're doing, and I know it's just a passion, and that passion is just these guys. I mean, we'll talk about them in a minute, but they've built huge followings while they're at school.
I think more than anything, it's authenticity. I think for me, the relationship with content and young people is a bit of a difficult one. I think for us guys, we've kind of grown up in the era of pretty vulnerable social politics, pretty vulnerable, conditions for living, housing market being, a mess, like saturation of degrees, not being able to get jobs and so on. And I feel like a lot of people feel like they've been lied to, and I think the result has meant a bit of a bullshitometer that's quite tough, to pardon my language. And I think with that, social media offered to us like the only space, or not the only, but a really critical space where we could kind of be our own kings, if that makes sense. I think being able to tailor our own feeds, being able to, be in complete control of who gets to us, it kind of breaks that traditional paradigm where you'd have the marketeer and the advertiser like talking down to the consumer, and it sort of flips it on its head. And I think as a result, us and brands now I think are forced to like serve that king rather than dictate to him or they'll kind of be thrown out.
What we did was we actually asked our Instagram audience about what are the serious topics that they want us to cover. And a load of funny stuff came in, but the three that resonated the most were the environment, politics and mental health. So the way in which we work with brands and our audience is we test and learn with content. So we tested a piece of content in each of those strands, and Jordan mentioned the anxiety piece that we put out, and the feedback we had. So in the comments we had someone who was a psychologist was saying, I'm a psychologist, I'm studying to be a psychologist, I'd love to speak to anybody who feels like they're suffering from anxiety, add me on Facebook, I'll talk back to you. And then there was one guy who wrote, I didn't even realise I suffered from anxiety until I read this piece. And that was just showed the kind of, I don't want to say influence, but the
impact.
Yeah, the impact that it could have had. And then so off the back of that, we built out the You OK Mate campaign, and it's been a huge success, and we're looking at doing part 2 of it this year in 2017.